We went to the Bourbon House. We went to on Jackson.
Yes, we did.
That restaurant on Jackson. We went to all of the acclaimed eateries of New
top
Orleans.
places.
Top places.
Yes.
And we went to Dookie Chase, where we
Chase.
met Dookie Chase III,
Yes,
who
we did.
sat at our table. We had a fantastic time. And everywhere that we went, there's one thing that my baby Al ordered. What was that?
What was it? I can't remember. What did I order? Everything was so good.
Gumbo. Everywhere we went, he ordered gumbo.
Okay, gumbo. Yes, I did
I'm
order
like,
gumbo.
really?
Yes.
So as we start to go into the Mardi Gras season, then nothing says New Orleans and Mardi Gras like gumbo. You got to keep in mind that gumbo is like coffee. Everybody takes it different, okay? So we're going to do a pretty straightforward gumbo, where it's not going to be very exotic, because we know that in the COVID time, you might not be able to get a whole bunch of different ingredients, but we're going to go ahead and roll with a chicken and sausage gumbo, and I'm going to show you a variation, okay? So we know the heart of a good gumbo is the roux, and that's where we're going to start. So our roux is going to be 1.5 cups of flour, and this is 1 cup of oil. Now, I make my own mix, and lots of good cooks in New Orleans, they mix their own spice mix, and this is mine. So mine has white pepper, black pepper, paprika, cayenne pepper. My gumbo filet, which is ground sassafras leaves, is already in my seasoning mix. I also have some granulated garlic and just a little bit of salt. Now, you'll probably do okay if you do about a teaspoon of each of those things, but like any good Southern cook, I'm not giving you my recipe. So what happens next, you would put of your mix 2 teaspoons. Then you would need a cup of oil. Now you may be asking yourself, why are we doing that in a bowl and not a pot? It depends on how you want to cook your roux. At the end of the day, you want to make sure it is cooked all the way. It's not going to be this blonde color. This looks a little different because of the paprika and the cayenne pepper that are in it. So my flour is already colored. Because this is a stainless steel bowl, if I want to, I can just stick this bowl in the oven at 350 degrees, and I can roast my roux in this bowl. Now, if this was a glass bowl or a microwave safe bowl, I would put it in the microwave for about 6 minutes, taking it out and stirring it about every minute. If you do it stovetop, it's going to take you about 30 minutes on medium. Don't want to go high. And so I've already put together some roux that we have right here. You kind of want it to look like dark coffee, dark chocolate, right? I roasted it in the oven. My sides to this pan are really high. And the reason for that is we're dealing with hot oil. Now I use canola oil. You can use peanut oil or any neutral oil to season your roux. Okay. So this is our roux, right? And we have that part ready to go. But we're doing a chicken and sausage gumbo. So the other piece of this is the chicken. Now, you can use leftover chicken that you've pulled, even fried chicken that's left over, pull off the skin and the breading and shred it. But I'm using boneless, skinless chicken breast and boneless, skinless chicken thighs. It's about 3.5 pounds, 3 to 4 pounds here. And I'm going to coat it with 4 teaspoons of my seasoning. Then I kind of want to rub it in and get it into the meat. Now once I have that done, I'm going to stick this in the oven at 400 degrees and I'm going to roast the chicken. Our chicken, and we will stick it onto the baking sheet so that we can roast it in a hot oven at 400 degrees. And again, this is also something that I already did ahead, right? So we're going to be ready to shred our chicken. And this is not high tech. I'm not going to use a food processor. I'm just going to use 2 forks. It doesn't matter what kind of forks you use. You just want to pull the meat apart. Now, I always line my baking pans because that makes them a little easier to clean. Once they get all dark and discolored, you know, we don't kind of like to pull them out. So to avoid that, I cover the sheet with foil. My chicken processed, but this is chicken and sausage gumbo, and I'm using chicken andouille sausage. Now these are the links as they were, and they have the casing on them. You can some people like their sausage big. They want to, you know, slice it on the bias. I like mine ground up, so that's where I actually use the processor, and I did it on low to mimic ground meat. Now, why am I doing this? Because I really want to infuse the flavor of the sausage into the gumbo. And if you're running a little low on sausage, this will stretch it. I'm not running low, but I want every bite to have sausage in it. I don't want a coin here and a coin there, okay? So we have our chicken, our sausage, our roux. Now we're actually ready to start putting together our gumbo. So I've got chicken broth, and I always keep jars of chicken broth. If I make something that's frothy in my refrigerator, don't throw them away. And I have all of my vegetables. What is in this mystery bowl? This mystery bowl is the trinity of Louisiana cookery. This is my celery, my bell pepper, and my onion, and I also have bay leaf and garlic here. So I'm going to just pull my bay leaf. I'm going to put it by my chicken. I'm going to go ahead and put it in with my roux. I'm turning this up. And we're going to go ahead and put that in. All the way. Onion, garlic, bell pepper. If you don't like to chop, you can buy vegetables pre-chopped. Nobody's gonna be mad at you. They don't even have to know. This is my chicken broth. I have to heat the chicken broth. When you get ready to mix your roux and vegetables and chicken broth, if this broth is cold, it's going to make your sauce seize up. You're going to have lumps, and it's not going to work out. So we need to go ahead and get this heated while we kind of saute this a little bit. Beautiful dark coffee roux. It's a thin line between love and hate, and it's a thin line between a well-developed roux and a burnt roux, okay? So what happens if you burn your roux? If you taste your roux, or you taste your gumbo before it simmers, and you can tell that there is a little bit, of char there, you want to take a potato, a baking potato. You don't have to peel it, just wash it, right? And you put that in there. Now, it's going to pull that burnt taste. You're going to have to go back and adjust some of your seasoning because the potato is going to pull your salt and it's going to pull some of those seasonings out. But it's a great way to correct your gumbo if you find that you have burned your roux and you have that slight taste. So we're going to let that work just a little bit. Okay. Now, I did add 4 cups of water to my 4 cups of broth because we need 8 cups total. Now that it's warm enough, I'm going to begin to integrate my roux into the broth. We're going to do a little bit at a time, just a little bit at a time. Just like that. Let me get my whisk. So you know, I'm in a mixed household of flesh eaters and vegan eaters, and so I have split my roux at this point. My husband doesn't eat meat. He's okay with chicken broth. I could have used a vegetable stock if that was really important to him, but I split it. I put 4 cups over here, and I'm keeping this here, and it's going to simmer. And so for the sausage gumbo and the chicken, we're going to go ahead and add our sausage and chicken. This is about ½ pound of sausage. We're going to put in the bay leaf in each. We're going to add the chicken that we simmered. Gonna make it kind of meaty. Yeah. So we're going to stir and just put our lids on and let it go. For our vegan version, I'm going back to the fridge. And I have lentils and cauliflower that we're going to put in here. Those are brown lentils and cauliflower. And to our vegan version, we're also going to add a can of tomatoes. Both our chicken sausage and our vegan gumbo are going to simmer for 40 minutes. So we're just going to put on the lid, our timer, and we're going to relax. Thank you for coming back. Now we're going to go ahead and finish up our gumbo, but I got to go revisit something, right? Yeah, we were talking about the seasoning mix that we used, and I kind of left an ingredient out. This does have black pepper, white pepper, paprika, cayenne pepper, gumbo filet, and it also has dry mustard and granulated garlic. I left out the dry mustard, but you want to put those in equal amounts and then adjust based on your flavor. So if you don't like your food particularly hot, you might only put a ½ teaspoon of the cayenne pepper, right? So just adjust it to your taste, but you have a lot of control when you make your own. And in terms of salt, there's 1 teaspoon of salt in the whole mix as well, okay? So we're going to go ahead and finish up. And you know, we split our roux so that we could make a vegan and a traditional gumbo. So this is our traditional with the sausage and the chicken. This is our vegan, which has the cauliflower and the lentils. We put tomatoes in there. We're also going to add 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes to our regular one. And we also are going to add okra. Now okra is a little tricky, right? You don't want to end up with a pot of okra snot. So less is more when we're talking about okra. And the less I'm talking about is cooking. Both of these pots are hot. So I'm going to put 2 cups in our vegan. This is a pound of okra. I'm going to put the remaining okra in our regular, our traditional. I'm going to stir both pots. Oh, that's just lovely. This looks good, y'all. It's just lovely. The color is coming together. My okra is taking on that bright green vibe. It's just a beautiful thing. And now I'm going to stir. And you can see the cauliflower, the lentils, the tomato. It's just beautiful. Now, you remember when I said less is more? Both of these pots are smoking. I don't need any more boiling happening. So I'm just going to put my lids on. I'm going to let this rest 15 minutes. This is one of the reasons that you want to cook gumbo in a heavy pot that holds heat, so that you can just turn it off and let the heat in the pot go ahead and work that okra, but not break it down to the point where you're going to have your pod open, right? So in 15 minutes, we're going to be ready to plate and eat and have a good time.
Okay.
Baby, the gumbo is ready.
Oh, is it ready?
It's ready.
Oh,
so
man, yes.
I got 2 cups of gumbo.
Okay.
I got one for you.
All right.
This is our vegan
Ooh,
gumbo.
that looks delicious.
Right? And then this one is our chicken and sausage gumbo.
I like
And
that.
so I'm gonna
And it smells so good, the flavor.
plate this.
Oh, yeah.
And so I know you want brown rice.
Yes.
Right, so we're gonna we actually made this rice yesterday. And rice, brown rice, rice in general, it's okay to make it ahead if you want to. You can store it in the freezer, you can store it in the refrigerator, but that's what we did. And then we're gonna use a ladle. You wanna use a ladle when you're gonna get gumbo, because you wanna get all the juicy goodness, okay? This is one of those dishes where the stock is very important. So this is a vegetable gumbo. We replaced the meat. We replaced the andouille sausage with lentils. We replaced the chicken with cauliflower. Paper towel, baby. And then we're just gonna give his bowl a wipe so it looks pretty for the people looking. Because when he gets down, it's it is what it is. Okay? So, take your bowl. And that's the vegetable one. And you want a little taste?
Yeah, let me get a little taste
Just
of
a
this.
little you gonna taste it? Okay.
Oh, wow. I got a little good bite of everything here. See?
You gotta kiss the cook.
That is delicious. My mouth is doing a dance right now.
Yay.
All the flavors come alive in this.
Fantastic. Now, one of our sons, we went to Louisiana, and one of the traditions, depending on how you like your gumbo, he takes his with potato salad. So we keep eggy potato salad in our refrigerator just for that child. So with his, I'm going to move my ladle, and I'm getting ready to get the sausage and the chicken gumbo. A lot of good juice there. And he's going to want a scoop of potato salad. And I'm just going to put that right in the middle for him. Because he's not going to eat it with rice. That's not the way that he likes it.
If you like this video and want to see more like it, then help a brother out. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and send in your comments.
Peace.